Put-in-Bay is a village located on South Bass Island in Put-in-Bay Township, Ottawa County, Ohio, United States. The population was 138 at the 2010 census. The bay played a significant role in the War of 1812 as the location of the squadron of U.S. Naval Commander Oliver Hazard Perry, who sailed from the port on September 10, 1813 to engage a British squadron just north of the island in the Battle of Lake Erie. The village is a popular summer resort and recreational destination. Ferry and airline services connect the community with Catawba Island, Kelleys Island, Port Clinton, and Sandusky, Ohio. Geography: Put-in-Bay is located 15 miles northwest of Sandusky, at 41°39 euro squared 11 euro cubed N 82 49 euro squared 3 euro cubed W. According to the United States Census Bureau, the village has a total area of 0.63 square miles, of which 0.45 square miles is land and 0.18 square miles is water. History of name: the name Put-in-Bay originally only referred to the bay itself. In the latter 1700s, the schooners sailing on Lake Erie would put into this bay, to wait out bad weather on Lake Erie. Bay, resulting in later local historians' attempt to attribute various explanations for the term Pudding Bay, which, in reality, had no meaning, but was simply a slang phonetic variant of Put-in-Bay. In 1820 and 1830, the island was under the jurisdiction of Huron County, Ohio, but later joined to Ottawa County, Ohio. It was after 1830, when Put-in-Bay Township was finally established. The island was only very sparsely inhabited and there was no actual village here prior to the creation of Put-in-Bay Township. The first known Caucasian resident on the island was Alexander Ewan, who had about 1,000 hogs roaming the island in 1810. Demographics: 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 138 people, 70 households, and 43 families residing in the village. The population density was 306.7 inhabitants per square mile. There were 263 housing units at an average density of 584.4 per square mile. The racial makeup of the village was 100.0% white. There were 70 households of which 17.1% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 52.9% were married couples living together, 4.3% had a female householder with no husband present, 4.3% had a male householder with no wife present, and 38.6% were non-families. 32.9% of all households were made up of individuals and 10% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 1.94 and the average family size was 2.44. The median age in the village was 54.7 years. 15.2% of residents were under the age of 18. 2.2% were between the ages of 18 and 24. 15.1% were from 25 to 44. 38.4% were from 45 to 64. And 29% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the village was 52.9% male and 47.1% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 128 people, 67 households, and 36 families residing in the village. The population density was 279.2 persons per square mile. There were 179 housing units at an average density of 390.5 per square mile. The racial makeup of the village was 99.22% white and 0.78% from two or more races. There were 67 households out of which 16.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 49.3% were married couples living together, 4.5% had a female householder with no husband present, and 44.8% were non-families. 41.8% of all households were made up of individuals and 6.0% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 1.91 and the average family size was 2.59. In the village the population was spread out with 15.6% under the age of 18, 4.7% from 18 to 24, 25.8% from 25 to 44, 38.3% from 45 to 64 and 15.6% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 47 years. For every 100 females there were 124.6 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 116.0 males. The median income for a household in the village was $52,917, and the median income for a family was $80,000. Males had a median income of $47,083 versus $38,750 for females. The per capita income for the village was $35,301. None of the population was below the poverty line. Climate. Transportation, Ohio State routes, SRA 357, Airport. Put-in-Bay Airport offers a single, unlit, paved 2870-foot runway in addition to a helipad. Tourism. For most of its history, the island's primary industry has been tourism and continues to be today. The tourist season runs roughly between April and October. The most common methods of transportation to and from the island are via ferry boat, propeller-driven aircraft and private boat. One of the world's largest hotels, the Hotel Victory, opened its 625 rooms to the public in 1892. The four-story hotel featured a 1,000-seat dining room. However, on August 14, 1919, the giant hotel burned to the ground. Today only parts of the foundations can be seen at the state campground. Put-in-Bay is the site of Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial commemorating Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry's September 10, 1830 naval victory over British ships in the War of 1812. Construction of the monument began in 1912 and it opened to the public on June 13, 1915. It is 352 feet tall and made up of 78 layers of pink granite, topped with an 11-ton bronze urn. Its height makes it the highest open-air observatory operated by the U.S. National Park Service. The remains of 6 naval officers, 3 British and 3 Americans, were interred beneath the floor of the monument's rotunda. Other historical sites include Stonehenge Estate, an estate with 19th-century buildings that are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Perry's Cave, a cave discovered by Native Americans. Perry sent men here during the War of 1812. Has an underground lake from which Perry's men obtain drinking water, after previously drinking from the bacteria-filled Lake Erie water and getting sick. The water in the cave was clean and thus by drinking it, his men returned to health in order to win the battle. Heinemann's Winery and Crystal Cave, the world's largest geode. Lake Erie Island's Historical Society, a 6,000 square foot museum that houses artifacts, memorabilia and genealogical data pertinent to the Lake Erie Islands. There are under 150 full-time residents, most of whom remain on the island over the winter. Supplies and perishables are flown to the island during the winter months along with the mail, parcels and bank employees who staff the island's only bank until the spring. The island is a single school that is used for grades kindergarten through 12 and serves the educational requirements of Middle Bass and North Bass Islands. These students arrive by plane, boat or ATV across the frozen lake depending on the season and weather. Put-in-Bay has 1 grocery store, 1 hardware store, 1 school, which houses the 1 lending library branch, 1 gas station, a post office, 1 bank and 2 cemeteries. It has 1 seasonal franchise restaurants, Subway. There is no cinema. The island does not have a hospital, but does have an emergency medical service that can use a Lifelight helicopter to transport critically ill patients to mainland medical facilities. In 1952 1959, as well as 1963, the island held road races around a 3-mile course. In 2011, the Put-in-Bay Road Races reunion returned to the island. The temporary road course set up at the Put-in-Bay Airport during the 2011 event was a key step in pointing the way to the return of real vintage sports car racing to the island for 2012. The Boy Scouts of America hold an annual camporee at the base of Perry's monument. Gallery. See also, Populated islands of the Great Lakes, references. External links, official website, Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau, Lake Erie Islands Historical Society, Put-in-Bay at DMOZ.